How to navigate office politics. Oh my goodness, how I used to hate office politics. But before we can get into how to navigate it, let's look at office politics by definition. Coming up, office politics are actions and behavior involving competition for status and power in a work environment. Well, you can't avoid office politics. It's a fact of life. In fact, your lack of attention of what is happening in the workplace can be extremely dangerous for you, especially if you are an ambitious person. Sadly, office politics can make or break your career if you are not aware. So, being politically savvy is a skill you need to learn to survive office politics in the workplace. It doesn't mean that you must be a pushover, but understanding the game in the workplace is vitally important for your career. Now, how to be political savvy? First thing, you need to understand what is office politics and make sure that you know what is happening in your company. That is very important. Secondly, discover characters who play office politics in your company or in your department. Know who are those guys. Discover what is happening. That's very, very important. Now, let me break it down for you. Who are those characters? Number one, controllers. Those are employees who bully and boss everyone around. So you'll notice those with big ego. They have a very huge ego. Okay. So make sure that you are proactive and learn to say no, because otherwise you will be under their spell. Learn to be proactive and stand up for yourself. Number two, gossipers, or sometimes I can call them whisperers. Those are know-it-all when it comes to office gossips. Who sleeps with who will be promoted, why so and so was fired. You know those ones. And please keep away from them and make sure that you don't expose your personal issues. You don't discuss your personal issues with those ones. Number three, manipulators. Oh, I hate those ones. I used to have a guy like that. in the work environment. Now, manipulators, what they do is when they get information first, they manipulate that information so that it suits them. They manipulate the information to their advantage so that they can control you guys, and they appear as people who know. Very, 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 very evil. Very, very, very evil. Don't share too much of your information with those ones. Make sure that your interaction is strictly professional. Very important. Number four, credit thieves, or sometimes we call them creditors. Now, these employees or colleagues are very good, or they are experts in taking credit for yours or someone else's ideas and work, and quickly attempt to climb a corporate ladder very, 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 very fast. Imagine someone tries to climb a corporate ladder using your information or using you as a step ladder. That is so evil. Another group, advisors. Now, advisors, when you are dealing with them, you have to be very, very, very careful, because those are management confidants. and can yield a very, 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 very strong influence, because those guys are eyes and ears of your manager or of the management. You have to be very, 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 very careful when you are dealing with them. They also love to be so clingy and so close to your boss, and those guys are very, very, very dangerous. Be careful what you say around them. Be very careful what you say around them. Now, how to deal with office politics, especially negative office politics? Number one, identify power centers. Identify guys with influence. And you'll be shocked, eh? It's not always the guy on the top. It's not always your boss or the CEO. Identify those people very early in your office. Identify and understand who holds the power, and check also their reporting structure. Discover a reporting structure. Number two, decipher the informal networks. Check where and with who are these guys interact with, especially after hours. Don't be blind when it comes to that. You'll be shocked when you discover the guys who meet, especially after hours. When everyone is at home, they meet somewhere for beers or for coffee or whatever. Don't be blind when it comes to that. Discover these informal networks. Number three, work on your emotional intelligence. In other words, learn to control your emotions as you also manage the emotions of others. That's very, very important. Because if you don't check your emotions, you may find that even sometimes you yourself, you have a problem when it comes to handling your own emotion. Maybe you are short-tempered. Maybe you start suspecting things that are not there. Check on yourself first as you are managing other people's emotions. That's emotional intelligence. Number four, stop spreading rumors. Stop gossip. Stop office gossip. I mean, negative office politics is a dirty game. It's going to destroy you. Especially if you're still new, you still don't know who is who. Don't just get into all these office gossipers and just ride on with them. Stay away from office gossip. Last one, neutralize negative office gossip. Don't fuel the fire. Very important. You know, one thing that I tell my student, I always say to them, office politics on its own is not a bad thing. It depends on an individual. We all want to be promoted at some point, but that does not mean that I need to be able to walk all over other people. That does not mean that I need to cut corners and backstab people and everything. You see, office politics is like a knife. You can always choose what you do with it. With a knife, you can kill somebody, and with the very same knife, also you can use knife for good. You can chop vegetables. You can slice meat with the very same knife. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about office or negative office politics? Is it good? Is it bad? Have you ever been involved in it? What happened? Please write on a comment below. I want to hear from you. And please don't forget to subscribe.